Good morning. We're all in our places with sunshiny faces. So let me just tell you, thank you so much for all that you've done for me and my family. And I want to introduce my wife, Lois, and my two sons, Myron and Brian. But also thank these ministers and Alfred Williams. He's not a minister. He needs to be prayed for. Reverend Wesley, Reverend Dixon, my great friend Mayor Rito, my other great friend Senator Broome, another pastor here, Reverend Robinson, and let's see, and this guy here, don't you stand in the back. And I want him up here, and I asked him the other day when we had a meeting, I said, Pee Wee, would you join me in making this announcement? We've had a tremendous relationship as friends and colleagues, and having my buddy come over from the west side, the West Baton Rouge Parish, to be here is very, very special to me personally, because we worked through a lot of things together, and we're still working together to get many, many things done, not only for Baton Rouge, but West Baton Rouge. And he and I often talk about the fact, and I know you will picture this right now, but when we deal with traffic, West Baton Rouge, I told Pee Wee this, I'm willing to put Baton Rouge second to the traffic jam that he faces in West Baton Rouge, where all of these different roads merge at the same spot and traffic is backed up quite a bit. And so that's the relationship we have, and we go out and work with each other to make sure we can continue to move our parishes forward and make everything better for everybody. But then also I just like somewhat of a summer note. Yesterday would have been my dad's birthday, and of course we are making this announcement one day later. But I have to tell you a story about my dad. Or I got to tell you, that's my other mom over there, Florence. You can come on over here, Florence, because her and her husband, frankly, helped to raise me, along with my mom and dad. And we miss her husband too because he passed. But here are people who, like a lot of you, just planted things in my life to make a difference. But I said when I wanted to tell you something about my dad was one of the hardest working people you'll ever find in your life. He started off working at Solvay Processing Allied Chemicals. He'd get off at 3:30. He didn't know how to drive, so he caught a ride with a family friend, the Wrights. And when my dad got off at 3:30, he came home and changed clothes and then went to work as a waiter at Jack Saban's restaurant. And if there was a derailment in that train yard, my dad would then just go straight from that job back to work again and work until they got that derailment taken care of. I got to also say a special hello to my good friend Leo Bergreen back there. And so when I tell you, you know how your parents get when you bring the car home late? I had that experience with my dad, and I only needed one experience like that with my dad. When I put the car in the parking lot, Delgado, come on up here, man. when I put that car, before I could put it in park, the front porch light was on. My daddy was out on the front porch in his boxer shorts. He is the son of a Baptist minister, but it took me 5 minutes to know my real name. And then he used these words. He says, the next time you do that, I will knock all of your teethuses out of your mouth. And I said, I think I know what part of my body you're talking about. So again, thank you so much. And for many years, I've maintained an office in the Fontaine House on North Boulevard. It was there and where I practiced law and where I still keep a law office today. In that house, Mrs. Doralice Fontaine wrote our first state song, Give Me Louisiana. And from that house, Mrs. Fontaine told the world about the state she loved. She sent copies of her music to Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt, J. Edgar Hoover, and President John Kennedy, and she received personal letters back from each of them. She sent her music to governors, and 17 of them wrote her after receiving her songs about Louisiana. She sent it to the world leaders. She hosted receptions for the wives of ambassadors. She sent songs about Louisiana to the Pope, to NBC, RCA, and others. Mrs. Fontaine used her talent to tell the world about the beauty and uniqueness of the state where we were born, or where she was born, and through her lyrics, people around the world celebrated Louisiana. Our woodlands and wetlands, our rich heritage, natural resources, the softness of a sunset, our unrivaled hospitality, all the things that make Louisiana, as her song says, the grandest of all states. Doralice Fontaine loved Louisiana, and she wanted others to as well. I feel that way too. Being elected the mayor of Baton Rouge was a dream come true, and together, you and I have enjoyed what may be the best 10 years our city has ever seen. I've traveled the country and even the world selling Baton Rouge as the great investment opportunity it is, arranging the exchange of ideas in science, engineering, and technology, bringing our culture to new audiences and inviting the world to Baton Rouge. I believe Louisiana's best days are before us. And if you remember one thing I said today, let it be that when we come together, when we work for the greater good, it's magic. When we lift ourselves from under the weight of a divisiveness, putting aside partisan bickering and parochial attitudes, forgetting about North versus South, there is simply no stopping us here in Baton Rouge. Louisiana has the talent and resources to solve problems that affect the world. So let me tell you why I believe tomorrow will be great. When I was elected mayor, Baton Rouge wasn't known for its film production. So one of my first steps as mayor was to create the Baton Rouge Film Commission, and I want to thank Liza and all those who helped to make this possible, which has recruited over 100 film productions, generating more than $500 million in our community. We weren't known as a place that could attract tourists or large conventions and shows, so we revitalized our downtown, created an arts and entertainment district, promoted our museums and libraries, updated our river center, and made Baton Rouge an exciting new destination for events like the Miss USA competition, which brought an international audience to our city. And I would also like to thank Visit Baton Rouge for all that they have done. We took a weekend in May when most people left town and turned Baton Rouge into a major tourism destination for country music fans everywhere with the Bayou Country Superfest. When I took office as mayor, the only rankings we cared about were the football rankings. Now, don't get me wrong, I still care about those football rankings. But we've instilled a new pride in our city and parish when we started being ranked among the top cities in America for jobs, business expansions, and quality of life. And just a side note on that, let me thank the AFL-CIO. Let me thank the Associated General Contractors. And let me thank the builders and the building contractors, where you see these groups fighting each other across the nation. These groups are working together now to improve the quality of life for our children and for our families. But they hung in there when jobs were fleeing Louisiana. Those groups worked together to make sure Baton Rouge would never fail. So please give them a big round of applause as well. Last year, the #1 major market of the year, we're talking about Baton Rouge, the #1 metro for economic growth potential, the 7th best city in America for young families, #3 for chemical engineers, a top 25 place to retire, the 8th best place to live in America, and the list goes on. And that list was highlighted in the April edition of Sky magazine, published by Delta, whereby I had the unusual circumstance of, as I was changing planes, people kept saying, "Congratulations, Mayor." I'm going like, what are they talking about? And then I would move further down the aisle and somebody said, "Congratulations, Mayor." And again, I'm going like, what are they talking about? And then when I sat in my seat, I pulled out the Sky magazine. And the Sky magazine had a 6-page spread on Baton Rouge. And they said, Baton Rouge is booming. And what a great place this is. These are the results we've achieved for East Baton Rouge Parish and the Capital Region. And I know we can achieve great results throughout the state. I've served at many levels of government, made lasting friendships like you here today in state and federal agencies, other cities and states, and I will use this experience to serve our state. Can you see why tomorrow will be great? Just ask my friend Davis Rohr. He can tell you. Look at downtown Baton Rouge now. Look at Friday night of this past week. We had the largest crowd downtown for that celebration in the history of Baton Rouge. So again, can you see why tomorrow will be great? When we set out to make Baton Rouge America's next great city, we stopped turning our backs to the river and redeveloped our riverfront to give better access from rooftop views to new hotels and offices, bike and walking trails, and making downtown a safe, fun place for families. Through the U.S. Conference of Mayors, the National League of Cities, and groups like the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative, the America's Wetland Foundation, and our water campus, I've taken an active role in working to make sure the Mississippi River is healthy and sustainable for generations to come. Because Louisiana's economy depends on a healthy river and rebuilding coastal Louisiana. The loss of our coastal wetlands is an American tragedy. But one of our great misfortunes, we are building, and out of those great misfortunes, we are building a growing economy based on science, engineering, energy, and tourism. And that's another reason why tomorrow will be great. Our largest cities are the crown jewels of Louisiana: New Orleans, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Lake Charles, Lafayette, and one that I'm a little partial to, Baton Rouge. Each one hosts unique opportunities to draw visitors from anywhere in the world if you work with them to promote their assets. But I'll also focus on small towns and villages in Louisiana, Main Street programs, bringing businesses into more rural areas and promoting the services and opportunities they offer. More and more, travelers are attracted to the experience that small towns offer. Look at the success in Natchitoches with its Christmas festival. We have to help more small towns roll out the welcome mat so visitors can enjoy the food, the music, culture, recreational opportunities we have to offer. Small businesses, civic associations, youth groups, They're all going to play a role in making sure tomorrow will be great. I'll work with the Agriculture Commissioner, and LED to sell our seafood industry locally, nationally, and internationally. We will continue our work with the Greater Baton Rouge Chamber of Commerce. I've developed a network of international contacts through governments and global industries operating in Louisiana. And together, we'll recruit new businesses and opportunities to improve the local economies in all of our communities. And we'll find new ways to help our small businesses grow, because that's how you make tomorrow great. We're in the midst of the largest population of retirees in the history, the baby boomers, with recreational assets, hunting and fishing, those late afternoon breezes under historic oaks. Louisiana is a great place to retire, and the Lieutenant Governor can make it even better. Let me change that. Kip Holden can make it better. So we'll continue building the three-legged stool, which means a great place for mom and dad to retire, great jobs to keep our best and brightest here, jobs like the new IBM Center, Electronic Arts, Sports, and other digital arts companies that bring a greater life to Louisiana. And even, like I had the chance to do in Greensburg, Louisiana, a poor area in a poor parish, we were able, with volunteers in all sectors of technology, to give Greensburg, Louisiana, their first lab for computers in the history of that town. And we're going out to reach out to the small towns to say, you're not alone anymore. We have people standing in this room that can make a difference. We have companies located here that can make a difference. We can't afford to let the mom and pop grocery store close. We can't afford to let that small town bank close. We can't afford to have ghost towns in the greatest state in America. Together, we will uplift all people and let them know our hearts will be with you, but so will be our work ethic to make sure you survive. Because many of us came from those small towns. And it saddens me when I hear people say, you know, I wished I could get my mom and dad to move to Baton Rouge. And I wish our town could be a lot better and not businesses fleeing from those small towns. And you watch them with tears welling in their eyes. And you say, God has blessed all of us. But the blessings should not stop with what we have achieved. We have a group of people in this state crying out for help, and they too want to be able to share a part of the American dream. It should be a personal commitment on the part of all of us to go into those towns where we grew up and start talking, start the dialogue. So as I travel around the country, you can see smiles on the faces. Yeah, they may be sitting in that rocking chair, or they may just be talking about how the old times were. But we're going to tell them, you planted the seed for a great foundation called Louisiana. We will never forget what you have done. We will never forget your contributions. And added to those contributions, we have an obligation to make sure all of those who served in the wars, all of our veterans, many of them homeless right here in Baton Rouge, we have an obligation to tell them, you put your life on the line for all of us. Now, we will put our best effort up front to let you know you stood up for us and for our freedoms. We will stand up for you and let you know America loves you and that God blesses America. Those blessings do not stop here, that we will reach out to make a lot more happen. And then we have to deal with our educational system that will prepare our children for a future where families and careers are intertwined. We have a lot to be proud of and a lot to show. Family reunions, sports and recreation, cultural heritage excursions, ecotourism, food, music, river region, touring, small town and big city experiences. Louisiana has something for everyone. When Mrs. Doralice Fontaine said, "Give me Louisiana," she knew our state has something to offer that can't be found anywhere in the world. New York, Los Angeles, London, Paris, all great places, but I agree with Doralice. Give me Louisiana any day. Our natural beauty, our rich heritage and history, and most of all, our amazing hospitality. You are the secret weapon that has helped me sell Baton Rouge and what can help us sell our state. Tomorrow will be a great day because of the people in this room today and the people around the state who will hear about what we can do together and join us because they love Louisiana too and want to make sure tomorrow will be great for everyone. I've been a Metro Councilman, a state representative, a state senator, and now mayor president. I recruit new businesses, negotiate film and television deals, help host great arts, literary, music, and entertainment events. I'm a salesman, I'm a promoter, an advocate, and a cheerleader when needed and where needed. I've run Louisiana's most populated parish for 10 great years, thanks to you. And look what we've done together. I want to be your next lieutenant governor because the job is not a stepping stone for me. It's not a bureaucratic outpost. It's an opportunity to lift up every corner of our state to the world and say, I'm in Louisiana, tomorrow will be great. So come and join us. Let's do this for Louisianians and for all of us. My friends, your outpouring is very touching. Now the work. Call your friends across the state. Call the friends in those small hamlets and villages. And this Sunday, my wife and I will have the honor for the second time in a row to be the grand marshals of the Oakdale Christmas Parade. We're reaching out and lifting up. That's what we're all about. I want to thank you and thank God. And may God bless you. God bless Baton Rouge. God bless the great state of Louisiana. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Mayor Holden has certainly done an excellent job as mayor president of East Baton Rouge Parish, the city of Baton Rouge, in terms of his ability to draw businesses, to draw entertainment activities to our city. But more than that, he's laid a foundation as a public service servant. First serving as a Metro Council person, then as a state representative, a state senator. So he indeed has the background and is equipped to do the job of a lieutenant governor.
Okay, what are some of the great things that you think he's done in the past?
He's certainly been very active in terms of his network nationally and internationally in raising and elevating awareness about the potential of Baton Rouge, for example, with the film industry. That's just one item I can point to, and the list goes on and on. When Kip Holden is elected lieutenant governor, I certainly see the state being even broader in terms of its attraction with business, with culture, recreation, and tourism.
What are some of the great things that you've done for the city of Baton Rouge?
Well, first you can start taking a look at the amount of roads we built here. You can begin to look at downtown that's completely changed from 10 years ago. We're bringing technology into Baton Rouge by recruiting IBM in electronic arts. We're working with kids with education. And just this past summer, we fed almost 60,000 more kids through a grant so they could have breakfast and lunches as well. So we believe in a healthy city, trying to do something about obesity, diabetes, and those diseases.
Tell me about the announcement today.
The announcement today is very exciting for me. When I drive through some of these small towns, it's somewhat depressing. So I got to lift up the spirits of people who are there, and some of them may be stuck there. But at least in their latter stages of life, make it comfortable, put a smile on their face, let them know that somebody cares. I'm that person who cares.
What is your vision for the future of Louisiana?
You're going to see a state that's going to be spread out all over the world, because I'm a promote. You see young people coming from other states and other countries here to learn about our culture, our heritage, and all the wonderful things that we offer, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'm very thankful. I thank the people in Baton Rouge for allowing me to serve as mayor now on my third time and term. But more than that, it's about all of us showing up as a partner and as friends. And that's the spirit I want to take across Louisiana. We are one. There's one God. There should be one people. And when I say that, all of us have so much to offer to each other, exchanging ideas, talking to one another, getting a chance to know each other better, and making a difference in the quality of life.